Today I am going to explain the modal verbs and their difference. I will explain what modal verbs, how we use them. I will give easy examples, and the end I will compare the modal verbs so they are easier to understand. One, what are modal verbs? The modal verbs and special verbs they help use express different ideas such as ability, permissions, possibility, advice, obligations, and future actions. Some common modal verbs are can, could, make, must, should, will, and would. The structure is very simple: subject plus modal verb plus basic verb. For example, I can could, she should sleep early. They will arrive soon. Remember, after a modal verb, we always use the basic form of the verb. We say we can play football, not we can play and plays football. The modal verbs do not change with the subject. We say I can, we can. The modal verbs is always the same. Two, can. Now let's talk about can. We use can for ability and permissions. For ability, my sister can drive very well. She was the ability to drive. Another example, I can ride a bicycle. For permissions, can I open the door? This is an informal way to ask permissions. The negative form is can't. Example, I can't play the piano. 3. Cold. Now let's talk about cold. We use cold, past ability, possibility, and polit requires for past ability. When I was, then I called right a horse. For possibility, we called see snowed in this winter. For a polite request. The call, you repeat the question, please. This sounds more polite than can you repeat to the questions. 4. May. Now let's look at may. We use make for permissions and possibility. For permissions, may I borrow your dictionary? This is formal. For possibility, my father might arrive late today. It is possibility, but we are not sure. Uh, five, five, make. Now let's talk about make. We use make for possibility. For example, my friends make visit me this weekend. Another example, the weather make change tonight. Make usually shoots more uncertain than may. 6. Must. Now let's study must. We use must for strong obligations. For example, you must do your homework. Another example, drives must stop and rely. We also use must for strong conclusions. For example, her car is outside, she must be at work. The negative form is must. Example, you must eat in the library. It's not allowed. The 7. Should. Now let's talk about should. We use should to give advice. For example, you should exercise every day. Another example, you should talk to your teacher. It's good idea, but it's not an obligation. 8. Will. Now let's study will. We use will for future actions, promise, predictions, and key decisions. For example, I will visit my grandparents next Sunday. For predictions, I think our class will do well in the exam. For a promise, I will always support you. For a kid decisions, in tears I will get some water. 9. World. Finally, let's talk about world. We use a world for requests and imaginary situations. For a politic requirements, will you close the window, please? For an imaginary situations, I would buy a big house if I had a lot of money. We also use into experience preference. Example, I would like some orange juice. Mm, the difference between modal verbs. Now let's compare them. Can it's for present ability and informal permissions. Example, I can swim. Could is for past ability and polite requests. Example, could you help me with this exercise? May is for formal permissions and possibility. Example, may I ask a questions? Makes is for uncertain possibility. Example, she make be voice now. Must it's a strong obligations. Example, you must wear your school uniform. Should is for advice. Example, you should eat more vegetables. Wills is for the future and promise. Example, I will send you a message later. World is a for political requests and imaginary situations. Example, would you like something? Important comparisons. Let's compare some modal verbs can and could. Can equal present ability, could equal past ability or polite requests. Example, I can drive now. I could ride and bake when I was 6. Make. But should possibility make is a little more certain. Make is a less certain. Example, she may come today. She may come today. Must and should. Must equal obligations. Should equal advice. Example, you must wear a seat belt. You should sleep 8 hours. Will and gold. Will equal future. Would equal a polite request or imaginary situations. Example, I will help you tomorrow. I will help you if at more time. Negative forms. Making negative sentence is easy. We add a not after the modal verb. Example, I can swim. You should eat too much candy. We must in the classroom. She may not come today. We won't be late. Conclusions. To finish, modal verbs help use expressions, different ideas in English. Can show ability or permissions, could show past ability, possibility, or polite requests. My should formal permissions or possibility. Make should uncertain possibility. Must show strong obligations. Should gives advice. Will is used for future actions and promise. Would is used for polite requests and imaginary situations. Remember that after every modal verb, we always use the basic form of the verb. Thank you very much for your attention, teacher.